Hi there everyone, I'm Jay Johnstone, former Major League Baseball player, and your host today for this freewheeling sports blooper country jamboree. So kind of kick back and relax and enjoy some great laughs. Right, Bob? Let's go, Bob, me and you, buddy.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Sports Bloopers, country style. Oh no! So grab your favorite two-step partner as we prepare to dive into a tape filled with bloopers, pranks, comedy, and the best country jam session you've ever heard. Beginning with one of the hottest country singers around today, Billy Ray Cyrus and his achy, breaky heart.
You can tell the world you never was my girl. You can burn my clothes if I'm gone. Oh, you can tell your friends just what a fool I've been, and laugh and joke about me on the phone. You can tell my arms go back into the barn. You can tell my feet to hit the floor. Or you can tell my lips to tell my fingertips they won't be reaching out for you no more. Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaking heart, just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man.
Man, those bowls are wild. Now, I don't think Billy Ray had the rodeo in mind when he sang Achy, Breaky Heart, but it sure fits after watching some of these cowboys get bowled over.
You can tell your mom I moved to Arkansas. You can tell your dog to bite my leg. Or tell your brother Cliff, his fist can tell my lip, he never really liked me anyway. Or tell your Aunt Louise, tell anything you please, myself already knows I'm not okay. Or you can tell my eyes to watch out for my mind, it might be walking out on me today. Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, I just don't think you'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man.
Night in and night out, these cowboys endure plenty of punishment. But just like any other achy, breaky heart, they're always willing to hop right back up in the saddle and ride again.
Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, I just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, he might blow up and kill his man. Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, I just don't think he'd understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man.
From the achy, breaky bulls, it's time for some other amazing animal athletes, where we feature some of the most outstanding animals at play. First, we have Wilbur the Wonder Horse, whose ability with the lasso is unequaled in equine history. Amazing, Wilbur. Next, we honor the driving doggy, alias AJ Beagle. AJ's a very safe driver as long as there are no cars, houses, or pedestrians within miles of him. Next, we have Squiggy the squirrel, who water skis better than any of his other four-legged friends. Go get him, Squiggy. And we also have Pete the parrot, who not only rides a bike, but also roller skates. And there's Freddy, the powerlifting frog, who, like Pete, also enjoys his bike. And finally, we have Bonnie, the billiards champion of the world. Bonnie waits for her owner to chalk up the stick, make the break. Then this clever canine puts them in. We hope you've enjoyed watching these crafty critters, and we'll see you next time on those amazing animal athletes.
Wait till you see this next animal athlete we have. This guy came right out of our Animal Legends file. We looked into our archives, dug out this tape, dusted it off. Let's take a look at this furry little critter.
Introducing the world-renowned Mr. Jackie, a very talented 3-year-old chimp who has mastered the sport of ice skating. For years, Jackie has been performing in front of sold-out arenas, dazzling the folks with his graceful ability as he just floats around the ice. And just when you think you've seen it all, Jackie throws stunts into the act, like this one. Always a crowd pleaser. Be sure to keep your eyes out for the marvelous Mr. Jackie, coming soon to an ice rink near you. Now that we're done with Mr. Jackie, let's get these sports bloopers off with a bang. Moving right along to the equestrian competition, where our lady friend has lost her balance. But this is still a legal ride because her foot has not touched the ground. And as long as she doesn't hit the ground, she's still in competition. She holds on and holds on. And finally gets back on to continue her ride. And here's another guy who was on his horse, BYU's Derwin Gray. Every athlete knows that concentration is the key to success. You should always keep your hands on the wheel and both feet on the ground. Try not to lose your temper. Yep, always keep your composure during game time. But if you feel you must contribute something to the game, make sure you can recycle it. And if you ever find yourself up in the air and out of control, take a break. And slip away to a place that's quiet. A place where you can turn things around. Point yourself in a new direction and go after your goals. And if that doesn't work, go back to the basics. Keep your hands on the wheel and both feet on the ground. Remember, concentration is the key to success. And speaking of concentration, well, it's definitely not one of this guy's better traits. Nor this guy's. Brian Hopgood of Louisville with the not-so-good foul shot. You like that, Denny? Well, you're gonna love this. A length of the court pass that goes off his teammate's head and into the basket to win the game. Anyone for some alligator wrestling? Maybe not. How about some camera bashing? Now the crowd loves that. And they also love this guy who does his own little end zone celebration. Hang on there, folks. We got plenty more to show you, like this glass-shattering action. or the big Iowa State football game. Whereas some of my country friends would say it was as cold as a well-digger's tail and rowdy. Even the mascot gets it. Well, it's time to slide out of this segment. But before we go, we'll back up to a few die-hard Atlanta Braves fans doing the tomahawk chop while parachuting. Ronnie O'Connor, a happy-go-lucky volunteer fireman from Philadelphia, was out on the golf course with a few of his buddies getting ready to tee off at the first hole. What Ronnie doesn't know is his so-called buddies have switched his real ball with an exploding one. Watch O'Connor as he gets all of this ball.
I've never seen anything that much.
Here it is again. Look at the guys behind Ronnie. They're having more fun than mice at a cheese party.
Nothing like a good prank being pulled off to perfection. Nice job, guys. And speaking of good pranks, let's take a look at one that I personally pulled on a few baseball buddies down in spring training.
Mongoose Mania is what we like to call this prank. Down in spring training, while the players were hard at work, loosening up, and preparing for the upcoming season, good old Jay was hard at work preparing for his upcoming caper. This year, Jay has brought his Cobra Killer to spring training, traveling from camp to camp, showing players and coaches this extremely wild and dangerous animal. He's told these curious onlookers that there's an African mongoose inside the cage. However, the only killer inside that box is a furry little tail tied to a string, which is about to scare the daylights out of Cardinals player Brian Jordan.
Come on, get out of there. Get out of there. Come on. A nasty little sucker. Boy, it really is. Every now and then it'll snap at you, huh? Oh, yeah!
Don't worry, Brian. You're not the only one Jay got with this trick.
Oh, yeah, go get him! Look out! Oh, geez!
There they go, and we want the world to know. Give a cheer, shout it clear, let them know that we're all here. That bunch of Cardinals and Mr. Hornsby, we're mighty proud of you.
We got another one.
We sure do, Jay. Another one of our crazy stories. This one features a race with plenty of beautiful cars and plenty of paper bags. That's right, paper bags, which the drivers had to put over their heads before the race began. Each car also came with a co-pilot, whose job was to be the eyes for the driver. The object of the race was to make it one time around the track without crashing. But as you can imagine, this didn't happen. In fact, most of the drivers didn't even make it out of the first turn. And those who did ran into other troubles. Oh, great, now both people can't see. Even the home stretch presented problems.
Watch it here, there goes
Definitely not your next Daytona 500, but it sure is fun to watch.
Time out. Let's watch the mastermind of football as the coach prepares a real beauty. Okay, here's the play.
Quarterback, you drop back to pass. The line will block down for you. Halfback, swing out to help out. Now, they're going to put on a fierce rush on our quarterback, so he has to scramble like a big dog to get out of there. Make sure you lure them back to our own end zone. Now, here's the real play. Receiver, you button hook at 15 yards. Tight end, follow. Quarterback, you throw a 65-yard desperation pass off this man's shoulder pads. The ball will then bounce to the waiting tight end, who will run all the way for a touchdown.
Yeah, but
Don't worry, it'll work.
Under some pressure. Oh, breaks the tackle. He's under a fierce rush. He has to scramble like a big dog. And look at this. He's luring the team back to his own end zone. Interesting strategy. He's still scrambling. He's looking downfield. Plans throws a 65-foot desperation off the shoulder. It's caught at the 40, at the 30. He's going to go all the way. What a play and what a stroke of coaching genius.
It's time for the Blooper Derby.
All in line, and they're off.
And so are we, with some crazy sights from the racetrack. Sometimes it just doesn't pay to settle up, so you let the horse go alone. Or you can bail out like this guy did. But sometimes it does pay to go the distance, as horse number 2 proved at the Meadowlands. Great Norman was a 181-1 underdog and won going away. One underdog who didn't fare so well was this Frenchman who tried to outleg the horse. Who won? The horse, of course. Part of the fun of owning a horse is naming it. These next horses have names that more than a few of you will recognize.
To the 16th pole, Magic Johnson's hanging on to it. Magic Johnson from Lila Love and Secret Accomplice, but it's going to be Magic Johnson.
Don Johnson coming back. Here's Walter Payton fighting through along the rail second. Every now and then third. Walter Payton, he runs for daylight.
Running for daylight were these next 3 horses who finished in a triple dead heat at Belmont Park. Look at that finish. And look at this next jockey riding the white horse who's about to go for the ride of his life. And another jockey who could use some help is this guy. Getting back to names, the name of this next horse is Hoof Hearted. But listen to the call.
Who farted on the extreme outside? Colorado Co-ed, Toast a Dozen on the inside. Quester's Jet. Who farted? Who farted on the outside? It's close. Who farted in the winner's circle?
Well, folks, that's it for this edition of the Blooper Derby. It's time for a blast from the past as we slide into a fighter flashback. The year was 1936, and the Depression has created a shortage in everything, including good wrestling opponents. Here, wacky Willie Warren Wachowski wrestles himself to a draw in the World's One-Man Wrestling Federation welterweight title, as defending champ Warren was allowed to retain his belt, which he later used to give himself a horrible lashing over a fierce dispute he had with himself over training methods. And that's all for this episode of Fighter Flashback.
Wacky Willie Warren Wachowski. What an athlete. What a name. Gosh, I'd love to see that guy playing football. He'd probably look a lot like these next players who are in these Gridiron Goose.
If you ever feel like taking a trip, just pick up the phone. Call up some friends of yours. Take time out and prepare to flip over the border into Canada for some real zany football action.
Weekend live
toss it Taylor Field. It's fumbled by the Rough Riders, and it's knocked into the end zone by Winnipeg. It's still loose. Will they get it before it goes out? Yes, they do. Bad snap. Osbaldiston kicks it back into the end zone. If it doesn't roll through, it's a touchdown. As the Lions get the ball, what is this? Who has the ball is the big question. And yards. Here comes Holbert from the left side, and Baker with the ball lying on the ground manages to kick it downfield. Pressure up the middle. It's blocked by Pleasant. Jerry Eichel trying to pick it up. It's still loose over there, and it bounces into the end zone. He ran into his own blocker, Kevin Smiley.
Cover your eyes, all you aspiring referees. What awaits you is kind of scary. It's not cute, and it's not pretty. It's cold, it's embarrassing, and it's a trip worth avoiding. What are we carrying on about? It's called ref abuse. And it's running rampant on the football field. So you referees, don't just stand there and take it. Fight back. Painful to look at, as we know, but necessary. So refs, chase your dreams by driving your nightmares away. You'll be thrilled by the results. And for all you aspiring skiers, here's some more advice. Stay away from the dreaded tow rope. Off to the hoop court now, where our basketball player runs into some problems.
Ouch.
Speaking of problems, watch the referee on this play. That will get you the yellow flag. And if you went to this horse race, I hope you didn't bet on either of the two outside horses, as the jockey gets his whip caught on the other horse's tail. To the hockey arena, where Jump Master George is about to bungee jump over ice.
We've all had our share of bad days in life, right? Mornings when we've gotten up on the wrong side of bed and nothing goes right. Times when we just can't catch a break. Well, do me a favor, my friends. When you're having one of those bad days, just think of this next story.
Hey folks, I don't mean to bring you down with this next story, but I have to tell you about the lousy day I've had. It all began with that wake-up call from my boss, yelling and screaming and telling me I was late again. It was a tough day. I mean a really tough day. Now, I knew that rush hour traffic was going to be brutal as usual, so I decided to get dressed along the way and pulled into the parking lot, hoping that my boss, Mr. Sunshine, was in a meeting, but I had no such luck. There he was, chewing my head off. He said, "Boy, you're never gonna make it in this world." And it was then that I said, "I quit." It was off with the tie, say goodbye to the sport coupe. Time for me to get on my horse, break away from the pack, and find myself a new career. I stood on my head for hours. My sister even came over and tried to cheer me up. I felt like I was brain dead. But then suddenly, I had a burst of energy, so I flipped my way down to the local gymnasium where I decided to try out for the gymnastics team. That seemed to be a pretty safe bet. But I didn't take into account that it was a tough day. It was a really tough day. It was a tough day. And it only got worse when my daughter showed up on the court in the middle of the basketball game. I was so upset I felt like crying. I felt trapped. How was I ever going to get out of this rut? Every turn I took was the wrong turn. Everything I did seemed like it was coming back in my face. I was going nowhere fast. It was then that I thought it was time to take a break. Go out for a nice, relaxing ride. And forget about my tough day. My really tough day.
I love these girls.
Hey folks, Ross Perot here. I am your servant. I work for you. Let's try to lighten things up a little bit with Emo Phillips, talking about fishing with his granddaddy. Let's listen to Emo. I'm all ears.
That old gentleman reminded me of my grandfather. When I was a little boy, I said, Grandpa, when are you going to take me fishing? He said, June 1st. As the days went by, I marked them off on my calendar. June 3rd, June 4th, June 5th. And a year later, I'm in the middle of the lake in the boat, and my grandfather showed me an old fisherman's trick to check how many fish are in the lake. And then he let my head back up.
You see, now fishing's great. You know it, I know it, and the American people know it. What do you say we head out to the lake and watch a couple of professionals at work? Watch this guy in the red hat as he casts off.
File a float plan. Bring a jacket.
I know that trick.
Don't hook anybody in the other boat. And you can have a good time out chasing trout.
Turn around, Rick. Finally caught a Marine.
Is it a keeper or you got going back?
He's a keeper.
And a few other guys who took it hook, line, and sinker were these next players from the Dallas Cowboys when we visited their training camp and enlisted the aid of quarterback Steve Berline for our prank.
Hi, I'm Steve Berline with the Dallas Cowboys, and we're getting ready to pull a little prank on some of my teammates. This stuff here is called Locker Rocker. You take a whiff of this stuff, and it'll make you rock big time. Terrible. I'm going to spray it right here on the microphone and get this thing. This stuff is bad. This stuff is bad. We're going to get some people with this prank right here. Just watch. How's the food here at training camp?
Well, we'll have to question the cafeteria guys on the food this year. It was not as good as in years past.
Well, you're one of the vets around here. You're supposed to be able to have a little poll and get these things set up. Why don't you go in and talk to the man and help us out here a little bit?
Well, all we could do is put them through the gauntlet drill and try to beat them up.
You catching any foul scents or foul odors around camp here?
What is that there?
What are you talking about?
Just that smell.
What smell?
Oh, your smell.
It's not me. Take a whiff of that thing, man.
No way. That's nasty.
How about pranks and stuff like that? Have you been involved with any of that? Have you seen any of that going on this year?
No, I haven't really seen too many pranks this year.
Yeah?
Only prank that I've probably seen is probably you shoving this microphone down my throat.
Really? Did you smell anything?
I smell so bad. I smell so bad,
It smells so bad.
Oh, what
Take a whiff of that, man.
No, man, what is that damn microphone, man?
You don't fall for those pranks, do you?
No, I don't fall for them.
Take a deep whiff.
Deep whiff?
You smell anything?
Let's think out here, man. Where's the sewer at around here?
Ain't no sewer. You're looking right at it.
What is that, man?
It's a microphone.
That is terrible, man. It is terrible. Get away. Get away.
You smell anything funny in there?
Microphone stinks.
I don't notice anything. You smell something funny in here?
The microphone stinks.
See ya.
It's time to introduce a very special guest that we have with us on Sports Bloopers Country Style. It's one of the stars from the old television sitcom Green Acres. It's Mr. Haney, and he's here to show off his talents as he takes over the mic and calls some of the action. Wouldn't Oliver be proud? Hey, take it away, Mr. Haney. Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living with Bob and me.
It's Mr. Haney poolside with a cannonball. And now we're judging his sister coming over. Boom! Watch her go in with a tidal wave.
We interrupt Mr. Haney for this important sports update. We have this late-breaking development from Wichita Greyhound Park. They're calling it the disgrace at the race. 7 greyhounds take off for what appears to be a normal race. Coming around the first turn, one of them, Deputy Dog, trips. No, that's not the story. You may remember Rosie Ruiz, who joined the leading runners at the Boston Marathon in the last few miles and thereby fraudulently won the race. Here at Wichita Greyhound Park, a similar incident has occurred. Deputy Dog, the wily greyhound, waited until the other dogs came around and right there joined the pack again. A disgraceful willful act by Deputy Dog. Look at him go. More on this disgraceful story as it develops. Now back to Mr. Haney.
Thanks for the update. Here's the quarterback back to pass. They floats one into the end zone. Hello! Half a goal post down and half to play. Watch 22 hustling down the first baseline. The catcher has no clue of where the ball. Try to get it, young man. That's the kick into the back end of the line. 33 hustling with a lateral. Here comes the man in red. 44 up the plate here. Oh, what a stance. Oh, smacked it off his little hind bone. Oh, and that's gotta hurt real bad. Mr. Haney signing off as we pull on out of here.
Hey, Mr. Haney, how about joining us as we look into our home video corner?
I'd love to. Nice little birdie.
All right, then, let's begin with Fred the Bird, our fun-loving, feathered friend who loves cruising around town. Looking good, Freddie. On to Shagra, the horse who's so buck-toothed he could eat corn on the cob through a keyhole. But he can sing.
Calgary's the place to be. The Flames are #1 with me. We're #1. Go Flames, go!
Nice job, Shagra. On to the baseball field in a game in North Carolina. Pay close attention to the guy in the blue shirt. Actually, watch his pants. This Pee Wee baseball team decided to start off their season in banner fashion.
Go A's! Keep running! Run, Jason! Come on!
And that'll do it for this look into our home video corner.
Now, so far, you've had a chance to watch plenty of those off-the-wall sports plays, but these next ones we're about to show you rank just a little bit higher on our craziness scale. Check them out.
Get ready for some strange but true football plays. Graceland College in the field goal attempt hits the upright, bounces back, is caught by the holder who runs it into the end zone. Sorry guys, but that's not allowed. On to this high schooler in Cincinnati who gives new meaning to the term man in motion. Too bad it didn't help the play. And watch this guy. He kicks off, and it goes a whopping -1 yard. Nice boot, buddy. And when talking about strange, this play takes the cake. The lead running back, number 28, is about to take the ball, and he's about to lose his pants.
Tacklers. Gohagen across the 40. He's got the first down. He's finally wrestled to the ground by quarterback Mike Jones.
And he's coming apart at the seams, literally. Look at this. He's still got a hold of him. They are still connected. All right, we've got a little house cleaning to do.
Somebody might trip on that thing.
A little bit of house cleaning. They're bringing out the shears.
Well, that's hysterical.
And another strange but true story comes from the baseball diamond and Turk Wendell, a pitcher who used to be with the Braves but now is a Cub. Turk is a powerful right-hander with plenty of crazy habits, like always running off the field and making sure he never touches the foul line. And he'll only take a ball from an umpire if it's rolled to him, and won't pick it up until it stops completely. And during the game, he goes through at least 2 packs of black licorice. Wendell also has plenty more rituals he likes to perform.
I kneel down, get the ball, wait for the catcher to come. When he goes to kneel down to catch, I stand up, throw my warm-up pitches. Then I get the ball, he throws it to second, get the ball, I pray, draw 3 crosses in the dirt, and then go about my business. You know, after that, I'm a normal pitcher like anybody else.
Yeah, no different than anyone else. How many pitchers do you know who brush their teeth between innings? You heard right. Between every inning, Turk comes into the dugout, breaks out the toothpaste, and polishes up those shiny whites. This 24-year-old is one promising minor leaguer with some major league superstitions.
You know, he kicked me, he threw me, he horned me, and he tore my shirt. He ran my little fanny and rubbed it in the dirt, and it hurt. So can you blame me? I got them nasty, rank-smelling, bull-sitting blues. When I wake up in the morning, I feel like one gigantic bruise. You know, people, they ask me, why do I do it? Why do I maintain this sorry plight? Could it be I'm not too bright? All right. Now, all you aspiring cowboys, let me give you some advice. Do anything but bull ride. It sure ain't worth the price. Where's the eyes? Before I end this class, let me say thanks to the rodeo clowns who constantly save my ask the question, can you blame me? I got them mean, nasty, rank-smelling, bull-sitting blues. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel like one gigantic bruise.
All right, enough of the blues. Let's hit the slopes for some good, clean, cold fun. We're talking cold. Every year on the last day of the skiing season, wackos from all over the country come to Winter Park, Colorado to participate in what's known as the Spring Splash. The object of the event is to try to make it across the man-made pond at the bottom of the hill. Some do pretty well, while others don't even come close, as you'll see. Now, if you thought those spring splashers were nuts, wait till you see these next guys and gals in action.
Look out. Sorry. It's okay. Hey, that tickles.
Time for another country-style flashback. They sure don't make athletes the way they used to. In their day, these guys trained with things like nails and sledgehammers. Even trains. Ooh. These hulksters took great pride in their bodies and were always willing to show off their muscles. But the primary way these guys stayed in shape was their state-of-the-art workout equipment. Ooh, now that looks like fun. These bodybuilders also train with things like cows and crowbars, cars, even cannons. Weightlifting was also a must for these men, and the ladies too. Yes, the old-time bodybuilders. They sure don't make them like they used to.
What's up, boss? You say you want more bloopers? Okay. Hey, fellas, the big guy says he wants more sports bloopers.
Well then, let's give the big guy what he wants. To the football field, where this over-enthusiastic player takes down his coach. And his coach says, "All right, way to go. That's the way to play. Nice tackle." Then he says, "Ooh, my head."
It's awesome, baby!
If you think that was awesome, pal, check out this basketball player. Or Brett Butler at the LA Dodgers, whose son puts him on his back. And here it is again. Brett is down for the count, and so's the right fielder on this play. Hey, you city slickers! You ever wonder what farmers do for fun? Well, here it is, hay skiing in the mud. That's right, every Sunday morning these crazies bring out their tractors and their bushels of hay and drag themselves through the sludge. Now, for those who don't care for the skiing scene, there's always the afternoon touch football game, where the guys get down and dirty and play some pretty competitive football.
Yippee! Yahoo!
Boy, do those farmers sure know how to have a good time. As do these next guys who are participating in the bat spin competition. Now, let me explain to you how it works. First of all, you take the bat and you put it down here just like this. And then you got to take your forehead and you got to put your forehead right on here and you got to spin around 10 times and then run to one of the bases like this. Where am I going? Let's watch the footage on this.
Hey, third base, not the pitcher's mound. Round and round they go. Where they stop, nobody knows. These two poor guys couldn't even find their way out of the batting circle. Up you go, down you go. And the guy on the left takes the cake when it comes to the bat spin race. Not only is he about to lose his balance, but he's about to lose his pants. Come on, pull up them trousers, buddy. Pull them up, will ya?
And interesting, if anything, Ray says these contestants, Paul Mins in the red shirt and Rocco Kaiser in the white shirt. Men's and Kaiser having trouble with the bat race. But Men's able to find his senses and get to the third base bag and win it. He'll win it.
And a couple more crazy scenes we came across on the diamond include this minor leaguer who popped the question behind home plate.
Sally, will you marry me?
How romantic. A mere 50,000 people looking on. A hug, a quick smooch, then he says, "See you later, hon. I have to go out with the guys and finish the rest of the ball game." On to a guy who took things one step further when he got married at the ballpark, with Father Guido Sarducci presiding, and 12 of his closest teammates standing in as ushers. And occasionally, the craziness even spills over into the game. Watch the second baseman as he takes the ball and puts it underneath his armpit. We've all heard of the hidden ball play, but how many of us have ever seen it work to perfection? Even this experienced third base coach is oblivious to what's going on. Back to our second baseman, who still has the ball under his left armpit. The time has come. The trap is sprung, and he tags out the runner for a double play. All aboard for the USA Crazy Sports Tour. First stop, Crooked River, Oregon, home of the short and fat guys race. This is one race where running is discouraged and drinking beer is encouraged. Hey, Twinkies for everyone. On to Coney Island, New York, where the polar bears make their home in 40-degree water. And how do they feel?
How are you? I can't feel a thing on my body.
Next stop, the golf course, home of this friendly bird. On to Sacramento, California, home of Jumpin' James Thompson, the master of jumping rope with people on his back. And our last stop takes us to the Lone Star State, where we found this very indecisive first base umpire. You're out. No, you're safe. Wait, you're out. No, safe. Oh, I don't know. You guys figure it out. Hey, partners, we're not done yet. Let's keep spinning along here with lots more action. Like this fighter, who receives our Cheap Shot of the Year award. Afterwards, he thought he won the fight, until the referee said, "Sorry, that's not allowed." Here's a play you'll probably never see again. Women's softball, and the batter gets the signal to bunt, and she lays down a beauty for a base hit.
Check out the pythons!
And here's another crazy play. The home team is playing themselves. Why? Because the visiting team hasn't come back from the locker room after halftime yet. The referee waits 5 seconds and gives the ball back to the home team. And watch this, as they inbound and score again. Here comes the visiting team. A little late, aren't you, fellas? Well, that's it for here. Time to race off to our next segment. Take a bow, fellas. Hoops bloops are what we like to call these next plays. And folks, I guarantee you we're going to bring down the house with this action. Or at least we'll bring down the backboard. Watch the team in blue as the player desperately tries to save the ball. And it winds up going in the basket. And here, number 22 goes for the steal and puts it in for 2 points. Hey, you think these two teams have the same clothing designer? Hey, pal, this is our basketball segment. Get out of here. Watch the two guys underneath the hoop as they help their teammate up, and he puts it in. Sometimes the basketball court is not the safest place for the referee. Or the cameraman. Especially the cameraman. You like that? Well, check this out. Watch this coach as he bends over to talk with his player. Hey, coach, you just ripped your pants and everyone's watching.
From Hoops Bloops, we move on to our NBA Pranks Dream Team. these are the basketball stars that have fallen victim to our elaborate practical jokes. Let's listen to the starting lineup.
Starting at guard, number 3 from the Orlando Magic, Dennis Scott. We had poor Dennis stuck in an elevator with a pregnant woman who was pretending to have a baby. And what did Dennis do?
Help! 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 We stuck in the elevator!
Hang on, I'm gonna call the elevator guy.
Hurry up! Hurry up! She thinks she might have a baby! Hurry up!
At the other guard from the Philadelphia 76ers, Johnny Dawkins. While at a golf outing, Johnny was doing a normal TV interview. That is until Manute Bol decided to interrupt things by driving a golf cart through a fake wall. Starting at forward for this dream team from the Miami Heat, Ronnie Cycli. Ronnie believed he'd landed a huge endorsement contract for a new sports drink. That is, till he tasted it.
Jeez.
What's the matter, Ronnie? You didn't like it?
No.
At the other forward from the Portland Trailblazers, number 25, Jerome Kersey. Kersey almost bought the farm here when he thought Danny Ainge and Allah Abdel-Nabi had invested $50,000 of his money to buy a one-eyed racehorse that wasn't worth a dime. Poor Jerome.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But right now, I want you to look at that camera right there and that camera right over there.
That's the ugliest horse I've ever seen. You thought I would give $50,000 for
And our starting center, also from the 76ers, 7'7" Manute Bol. Manute won hands down after Rick Mahorn's head came up under one of these cover dishes. As the Phoenix Suns' Charles Barkley leads him around the table.
They're right there. Oh, that was Rick Mahorn. He's like, shit, man. No, man. Rick.
And finally, Jimmy Rogers, former coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Little did Jimmy know that Pooh Richardson was waiting to flood his face with shaving cream.
Water hits the spot. You guys got me.
And we do salute those members of our NBA Pranks Dream Team.
Active Deputy Sheriff Barney Five here, and I hate to blow my own horn, but I got a dream team of my own. Here we go. And if you're out fielding fly balls, you gotta stay out of the garden, for God's sakes. And there's no bicycle riding off the hill. Come on. Now, whatever you do, don't sit on it. You're gonna blow the bubble. Now look at these horses trampling on one another. They gotta know it's against the law. How about this fella? Come on, get out of there. Now, hockey's not one of my favorite sports, but ballet dancing is. Look at this fella. Boom! Now watch this fella. He's not camera shy. Whoa! Now, if you're gonna be involved in there's the fat lady again. Watch her go. Boom! Unbelievable stuff on the tape here. Now, well, Disco Inferno. You know all that around here. Look at this guy. He likes grass. Stay out of the grass again. Well, here we go. Violation doing 36 and a 24. I gotta write you up for violating code 605. Moving on to a horseless carriage or a carriageless horse. All right, that's gonna wrap it up with an illegal weapons violation, and stop laughing at me.
Thanks, Barney Fife, for that enlightening commentary. And as we wind things down here, let's take another look at one of our crazy features. I guarantee you, this will leave you with a bad taste in your mouth.
The man on the right is Randy Sparagi, a local television sportscaster, talking with a member of the New York Mets organization who has an interesting habit. This guy is what they call a dirt dipper who lives off the land. Let's listen as Randy takes over.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, this is your first taste of BJP.
Yeah.
And what's it like?
I don't know. It's all right. You know, I have to wait and see how long it lasts.
Yeah.
But, fine.
Fine? Yeah. How does it compare to Jackson?
Jackson packs it a bit better.
Does it? This is a little, you know, it's a little dirt dusty. A little dusty.
No problem, Todd. We'll just get the groundskeeper to water things down so that it packs better. Being the kind of guy that I am, a guy that just can't refuse to taste something new, I had to try it.
Just like that? Yeah. And you kind of...
There you go.
And you stick right in there.
There you go.
Now, you know, push it down with your tongue.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's nice. That's too right.
So much for reporter involvement.
Well, partners, that's it. And as we leave you today, we'd like you to look at some of the wackiest races from around the world. From everyone here at Sports Bloopers Country Style, I'm Jay Johnstone, and you all have a nice day. Right, Bob? See you, folks. Come on, Bob. We're off to win the Kentucky Derby, and the Belmont, and the Piedmont, and the Delta, and the Trifecta.
There you see number 10, Bola Bola. Bola Bola on the outside. That's Crab o' War, followed by Dungeness.
Swingers ruckus up the rail. Who are you gonna call? We're not sure. We're not sure. Who are you gonna call? It's the one entry. They're 1-2. We're not sure.
Stands into the first turn with Hot Life's Excellence in front. On the outside, Equalton on his second as they disappear into the fog. From now on, you're on your own.
Then there's a gap of 3 to Dola Hika Makarakadola, and then it's Hika Haka Makarakadola, and the trailer is Dola Rolla Rolla Rakadaka Mola Hola.
Are you ready? He says, I think so, Tony. Wait a minute, baby, I'm not ready. Let me go.
Wow!
Country Style was produced by Steve Rutfeld Productions.